Hello everyone, welcome in Seasonal Tarot. My name is Kathy. Welcome back if you're returning and welcome in if you're new. We're gonna pull an oracle today from the Cantagee Oracle. This is a wonderful deck, by the way, and if you haven't got it and you have an opportunity to gift yourself something over the holidays, I encourage you to get it. It's a good prompt meditational journal. There's 52 cards. They go with each week of the season, and the images are just absolutely stunning. So, you know, it brings in a lot of thought and movement and contemplation into your life. So, yeah, if you see them, they are around deck. They're kind of hard to maneuver, but they're not too bad. And if you were to pull a card once a week, it might be a good place to start your meditation or your self-reflection. If you're stuck or you need to start journaling, there we go. And that again is coming out, so we're just going to keep that. Wow, bottom of the deck, an exploding star. 27. Poof. The end of a cycle, nearing the end. Year 9. There we go. Okay, the peach. A peach so ripe. Oh, I think I've read this one before. 39. Yeah, so this goes into a story about this peach being on the tree and how it nourishes everyone. And the tree is kind of like, I've been hanging on to you for so long. I'm kind of wanting to get into winter. And the peach is like, well, I hope I don't have to fall all the way to the ground and just become part of nature, and talks about the birds coming along, and eventually somebody picks up this peach. So a peach so ripe. Huh. Interesting. I'm just going to go to the book and see if there's anything that I can pull from that. Long ago in the future, an old peach tree was given a year with most perfectly dreaming-inducing frost, followed by deliciously long rains, and then a summer with sunshine so golden, warm, and thick it spread like honey over its leaves and seeped deep into the tree's core. The old peach tree produced its finest fruit that year, and it delighted in glowing and generous pride each time a bird, squirrel, or another creature partook of its glorious bounty. As the season wore on, each peach that ripened was eaten right on the branch, or plucked and carried off for savoring elsewhere, until only one peach remained. The nights lengthened and became chilly. The leaves of the peach tree hung downward and fell, some waxy and golden, some dry and earthy. Eventually only one peach and a smattering of brittling leaves remained on the otherwise bare tree. The old peach tree said to the peach, "Listen, friend, winter's coming and I'm going to go to sleep soon. I can't hold you much longer. If by the end of this day you are not eaten or plucked, I will need to let you drop. But never fear, my child, the worms and insects will enjoy you just as much as any other creature." The old ripe peach understood, and it observed its last day on the old tree with care. A bird landed near it, but did not eat the peach, because its belly was full of plums. A pair of squirrels careened and dashed about the old peach tree, but they scurried down its trunk without eating a peach, too busy in their mutual chase to notice the old ripe peach. Because this is a fairy tale, we must have a third contender for this old peach. And so, as the sun was low in the horizon, a person lost in thought came wandering toward the old peach tree. Sprawling shadows wrapped the earth like dark ribbons reaching toward night. The person's gaze seemed to be on something far away in the land of not here and now. The old ripe peach eyed this person with curiosity. Would they notice the old peach muffled in the shadow? And if they did, would they be hungry and interested enough to pluck it? Slowly the person drew nearer as the fiery hues of sunset painted the landscape violet and slate. The person paused by the old peach tree and seemed to be looking in the general direction of the old ripe peach. Dot, dot, dot. So, the message there is that the interpretation, the story is yours to fill. The fullest potential, keynotes, the fullest potential has been reached. The moment just before ripeness turns to rot. Use it or lose it. Be it or leave it. Recycle. Symbology. Nothing is wasted in nature. Fruit that falls to the ground uneaten will feed small land-dwelling rodents, insects, or worms. Whatever is left uneaten will decompose and become rich nutrients that seep into the soil and then back up into that plant originally produced the fruit. And if some creature happens to eat that fruit just before it falls, when it is at the moment of peak sweetness, they get to savor that uniquely mature ripeness when these flavors and juices pour out. This is like the sunset's glory display of every color at once before the world dims into night. Sometimes it's wise to hang on to things. Sometimes it's good to store things for that moment when they will be needed. Sometimes it's good to keep an unfinished project in the wings, waiting for that golden moment when it's time to bring it out into the world into a glorious finale of completion. Sometimes it's good to develop something in private, refining and refining and refining it. When you're drawn to this archetype, it's no longer time to hang on. Either make use of that item or pass it on to someone who will make use of it. Either bring some project to completion or scrap it at once and for all. Perhaps taking a moment to reflect first on what you learned and gained through your process with it. One further perspective of this archetype is that ambivalence is no longer an option. Like the peach, it's time to either pluck it and eat it or let it drop to the ground. Either commit more deeply to your current situation, relationship, or endeavor, or let it go. Use it or lose it. Be it or leave it. Wow. So that's the story of the peach. Use it or lose it is the message, the overarching message. So what do we need to know about using it or losing it, Spirit? What do we need to know about using it or losing it? So, choosing what to do, let it go and let it go into the ethers. And that's like power. I don't know where I got this from, but stagnation and power. You got to keep it moving. It's like the water. We have a lot of planets in retrograde right now, but we also have a lot of planets that are in water signs. So that may be significant. But the energy of abundance, it needs to keep flowing in order to keep moving, to progress, to bring in the new, usher in the new, and allow those cycles to keep spinning. And evolution is kind of thought to be a spiral going up. So revolutions are important. A peach so ripe. Anyone knows the story about James and the giant peach, feel free to leave that. We have the Fool, a new journey, and the Queen of Wands. And this is interesting because the Queen of Wands is nurturing the ground. So either taking a new adventure, bringing something to completion and releasing it out into the world, or hanging on to that to perfect it or to nurture it better before completion, or letting it rot in the ground. Like just, rot is such a harsh word, but letting it feed the soil. Like what I was saying was the energy. If you don't let something go, you can just give it up to spirit, and spirit can decide, return to sender, or just let it go into the ethers and let it come down and formulate into something else for somebody else. If that's too spacey, we could, get into the clothing scenario again, but I don't think we need to. The High Priestess, intuition, hello. Connecting with some stuff, connecting with your higher self, you have the wisdom that you need to move forward, to keep moving. There's the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So we've seen the Queen of Wands, we've seen the Queen of Pentacles. Both know how to utilize. This is too much, but I've got the Ace of Wands here. I've got the Five of Swords, that's the conflict. I've got the Seven of Swords, that's kind of like worried about somebody stealing your ideas. Seven of Cups, too many choices. Six of Clubs, nostalgic, some of the things that you're wanting to let go of. You're having a hard time taking action on that. Get out of your head and get into your heart and connect with the cosmos. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and identify what that block is, because it's just part of nature. It's just things. We are not our things. We are spiritual beings. We're here to enjoy the journey. It's not the destination. Okay, this one, Two of Swords. We're being blocked by something mentally. And if this isn't the time just yet, go within. Winter is the time of season, as we're entering still in before the winter solstice, is just to rest. Connect with yourself. There's that Ace of Pentacles. It'll come. That seed will come to the surface. You need to connect. Let go of the blockages, but don't rush yourself to make a choice. He's surveying. He's taking a step on some, we'll say, kind of thin-looking ice before he takes flight, because he wants to be sure. And that's okay too. Just because somebody says you need to do something doesn't mean you need to do it. As long as you're connecting with why you're hesitant. Is it the perfection? Is it a block? Or is it something that needs to be fine-tuned a little bit more? Or you need to be in touch with that intuition to make that move? And that's a real thing too. And wow, did I ever get a lot of cards that fell out when I said that. Be in touch with that intuition in order to make that move. We got the Fool. We've got Three of Pentacles. That's building community. We got the Tower. That's the mental strife. But from that rubble comes beautiful things. The Queen of Swords. She knows her truth. She's not scared to wield her truth. We got the Nine of Cups. Talk about joy. So I'm thinking that Spirit wants to. Knight of Cups. There you go. Movement through the ethers, but not letting the emotions override you in a negative way. And the Empress. Wow. Well, I think I'm done. That was a very powerful message. So when I said to you, taking the time to survey, making sure that there's no blockages, and understanding that when you're in touch with that higher mind, that higher self, and feeling that flow, the High Priestess. The High Priestess is kind of more secretive than the Empress. The Empress is ready to let go of something. She's ready to give birth, right? The High Priestess is still kind of alchemizing it. She's using that magic. She's using that energy for whatever reason. So going with your intuition to know when things are right. And I'm being told to keep these out. The Fool's Journey. Where are you going? Why are you going? Three of Pentacles. Who are you going to connect with when you're there? The Tower. Yep. There's going to be adversities, but stand in your strength and know that you will take flight from this. The Queen of Swords. Sometimes life is lonely. Sometimes our ideas don't connect with other people. And that's okay. The Nine of Cups, as long as we can find our oasis in the desert, that's really all that matters right there. That's what matters. If you can be happy in your heart, you're not harming another, you're not avoiding yourself, and you're in gratitude, in bliss, in joy, that's all that it takes to build another world. This is a very fertile place in a very barren land. And so if you look at it like this shit show, and here's you. Yesterday the message was about individually changing ourselves so that we can help others. And so if enough of us are sitting in this shit show oasis, doing exactly this, harnessing that energy, making decisions, knowing that we really can't make a wrong decision. It's just the cycle of life. But surveying our options, not going haphazardly, making sure that it's not an internal block. Again, we're doing no harm. And we take that leap of faith into ourselves, into our journey. We connect with others along the way. We learn the lessons about who's who, who do we want to align with, who do we want to work for, what kind of work do we want to do, what legacy can we leave, knowing that it looks like a mess, but from that mess comes beauty. And we have a choice of this jumbled mess to pick up whatever pieces we want and build a better future, a more sustained future, a brighter, bigger future for future generations. And as we're doing this, it's sometimes cold and lonely at the top. And that's the top of our game as spiritual beings. That's what we're here for, is that journey. Building this oasis in the desert. Don't come at it with arrogance or anything like that. Stay humble, stay graceful, stay in gratitude. Keep control of those motions, but within those motions, flow. Let it flow. Let the flow lead you. Again, like I said, you might want to look up your birth chart. You might want to see where the planets are and which houses in your birth chart. And the ones now, today, that are in retrograde. There's like 7 or something of them that are water planets. That's pretty deep emotions. We have a lot of emotions on the table. And we have some words, some truth. We have a little bit of Pentacles. We have some major arcana. and some massive major arcana. We went from the High Priestess to the Empress in one thought process. That's growth. That's huge growth. If you think about how long a cycle has taken mankind to do, whatever timeline you want to look at. We just went from harnessing the power to birthing the power in one 10-minute section. We learned about not knowing. It doesn't matter as long as we're in balance with nature. No harm can be done. If we're intentional about where we are and we're on the right path, we've checked ourselves. We've looked into where we're going. We can do no wrong, really. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Pentacles. This is a surety. 10 of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Anything else here, Spirit? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Do we have any wands on the table? No, we don't have any wands. So that's the taking action. So wands are usually denoted with action, the masculine side of things, so to speak. The Empress is here. Tower. But no wands. Interesting. We have swords, we have cups, we have pentacles, but we have no wands. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Pentacles, yet again. 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. Justice. We had this card yesterday. 11. Justice. Major Arcana. 11. Well, it's not 11, it's 2 in this deck. It's the High Priestess. But sure looks like 11 to me. 11, 11, right? It's Roman numerals. Again, justice, that brings justice. This process brings justice. When we look at ourselves and we have a good look in the mirrors, we are then wielding the power of justice and doing it in a way that allows us to connect with others and build a new future. 3 cups, as I said, this is your hood. this is your bros. This is your collective. This is the people that you can count on, light or dark. They have your back. They're there. They serve a purpose. They may be there for a long time. They may not be there for a long time, but it's community. 2 of Swords. Again, this one. She's too busy wrestling with those crows to get walking. She's blocking them. 2 of Pentacles, because she doesn't know which way to go. High Priestess, first card out. Connect with your higher spirit. Okay, you're being called to meditation. Maybe I should try doing one of those. King of Pentacles. Yeah. Okay, do we have any wands coming out? Where's the wands? Where's the action? No, it's being called to meditation. There's that wolf protecting him. He's sitting back, hanging on. But he knows what he's doing. He's very efficient. He's like 1 card away from the Emperor. This is the Empress. The king is, you know, one king away from becoming the emperor. In the court cards, the major arcana are the major shifting themes. The minor arcana are kind of like our day-to-day lives or scenarios that are playing out. The Empress at the bottom of the deck, again, I just picked up the Empress card, I split it at that. And there's the Page of Pentacles, the youthful aspect of this King of Pentacles. So we're getting ready to take this journey and trusting. Maybe there's a little bit more research that you need to do. Wow, okay. The moon cycle may be significant to all of this. The new moon is starting new beginnings. It's setting our intentions. It's not really launching anything. It's not letting go of anything. We just came out of the new cycle, the new moon cycle. The full moon is more about standing in gratitude, letting go of what doesn't serve us, knowing, like that peach, we'll go to the earth, go to the ethers, give it up to spirit, and letting go, right? So that may be significant time for you to do something. And again, I'm just being called to this moon in the Two of Pentacles. The stars. Survey of the landscape. The Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Good, good, good. This is a very powerful, powerful King of Wands. He has the strength. He has the magic. He holds all the clues to bring this forward. And so if we're doing it in alignment with who we are, we can do this. This is the Two of Cups. This is a sacred union of the divine. Masculine, feminine within us, weighing the options out. And here we have, again, the King of Cups. Was the King out earlier? No, we got the Knight. So from the Knight to the King. So he was one king away from the Emperor, right? The King of Pentacles was one king away from the Emperor. The Two of Cups. This is alchemy. This may or may not be another person you're waiting on. This could be just yourself with the divine bringing this in. And that is completely possible. But if you look at the magic in that bowl, the Two Cups sharing their ideas, building the oasis in the desert, trusting in community, building the Ten of Cups, lightheartedness of it, the Two of Cups. That's magic. All right, everyone. I wish you all the strength and the tenacity to get started on this. Yeah. And if you're getting stuck or feeling stuck, you know, think about the little peach and that tree and the relationship that nature has illustrated all around us. All right? All right. So until next time, sending you much love. Take care. Bye-bye.